Back here at the good old Hoboken train station. Once again, amazing parking spot. Back here at the Oculus, we got a cool plan for today. I love this city. Hello, New York. Hello, world. It is your Uncle Heavy, and look where I am again. This is New York City. I'm back in the Big Apple here. Today we came in. Last time I came to visit, I did the World Trade Center Memorial, but was not able to get tickets to go in and see the museum. So Michelle's here with me today. We're gonna go check out the museum, see what it's all about. We may do some other things yet, I don't know. I always fly by the seat of my pants, so it'll be really, really cool. I already got my tickets. Let's go see what kind of trouble we can get into. Do you come along? Now that over there is the museum we'll be going into in just a little bit, but we wanted to stop and have a look at the memorials. Now I've done another vlog on this, so I'm not going to go into too much depth, but this basically here, it was built in one of the footprints of the original Twin Towers. The other is just over there where those people are. And this is my second time visiting here, and I really am just as touched as I was first time. So this is something I missed in my last video of the memorial. This is Cohen's sphere, and I remember when I filmed it, I just kind of walked past it and said, here's an interesting sculpture, but this sculpture was actually in the area when the Twin Towers came down, and they were actually able to recover it from the rubble. And you can see it does have some damage, but it's still holding strong, and this has taken on a whole new meaning as a result, that it's showing the resilience. I'm really touched by it, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I missed it last time. And of course I can't not take a shot. One Tower Center. I'm not going up there today, but been up there before. If you're new to the channel, there's a video for it. Can't not have a shot of New York's finest and New York's bravest here. Here's a nice closer shot of the Oculus. I haven't been on this side of it. Pretty impressive architecture. So let's go in and have a look around. Looks like there's a bit of a line here. Just a wee bit. Thank you. So this presents something interesting to me. This is the kind of place that I don't feel like narration's appropriate most of the time. So if I go quiet for long periods of time, it's because I'm deep in reflection and deep in thought. I'll just let the organic sounds drive the video.
We're watching them in silence. Everybody started following. You could hear pain. And I wanted to gather all of us together. And I could have them safe with me. I'm so happy that
Avenue, 34th Small Avenue in Greensboro.
and I'm happy we're here with the same.
Yeah, it's at least a quarter. I'm having a moment here. This is too real. Apparently this is part of the structure where one of the planes hit. I remember this. I remember all the missing persons flyers put up all over looking for potential victims in the World Trade Center, employees, people in the building. I remember this. This dedication right here was made by an artist who took and forged all these letters from pieces of steel recovered from the original buildings. These are actually known as the survivors' stairs. They were recovered after the tragedy, and they say that most of the damage that I'm showing here on the bottom was actually done during recovery. And for the most part, it was almost 100% intact when they found it. These are known as box columns. They were basically the anchor of the steel facade that was the building. Now, if you remember, the building had more of an exoskeleton, and these remnants are what anchored it. This is the actual original foundation, and this wall would have been where the tower was, and this is basically the underneath of the fountains up above where the footprints were. So where I'm standing is where one of the towers was. Incredible. This is part of the steel facade here as well, and it shows how it's all compressed and twisted from the weight of the floors above it coming down. Just looking at that mangled rebar right there. These bolts, I can't even imagine what the cleanup effort must have been like. Can't even imagine. So yeah, that would be another one of those steel anchors, and it would go up here to form that exoskeleton. Over there we saw it buried in concrete, but this is actually the steel base. There's an example of the exoskeleton. If anybody's actually unfamiliar with it, that's what it looked like. You can kind of see the beams go down into the concrete, and they would be attached to one of these. You can actually see some wood timber here. I'm guessing it was a mold for the poured concrete that they just left behind. completely fascinated by this whole foundation and how everything lines up now. Amazing. I remember the firefighters who stood the flag back up. So behind me is the memorial gallery of all the people who perished when the towers went down. They respectfully ask that you don't photograph it, so I will not. But you can kind of just see behind me what it looks like in there, and just imagine one photograph for every person that was lost in the tower, and you could see how incredibly touching it can be. I got nothing else in there. Section of one of the communication towers would have been right there. Interesting story I was just telling Michelle earlier on about this tower was that I can remember living in New Jersey, and there was a local PBS station, Channel 13. When this tower went down, the station broadcast from this tower. When this tower went down, the channel went static. It didn't go test pattern, it didn't go anything like that. It just went pure static for days, and that was a memory I have back then that I can still remember to this day. And now I see this tower and it reminds me of that. Remnants of an old elevator motor here. Wow. Famous ladder 3. Fire engine that was on the ground trying to rescue people when the tower came down. Wow. The feelings I get from it is when you look at a fire engine, it's a thing of strength, and I don't want to say indestructible, but you don't expect it to end up looking like this. And there were people that manned this vehicle that were up trying to rescue people. And this is what's left. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Heroes. Every single last one of them heroes. Here's the view from down below. Now, this is the remnants of the North Tower. It looks like there is an exhibit in there that we're going to go into and take a look in a second. So this is actually known as the slurry wall. It was a concrete barrier to stop the water from the Hudson River from coming in. You may have seen it in the news. It was called the bathtub. But this is what's left of it. This is a steel column from the South Tower. They believe it's somewhere between the 30th and 33rd floors. But you can see how it's just buckled over on itself from the weight of the concrete. And this is one of very few exhibits they allow you to touch it. So I'm putting my hands on a piece of World Trade Center, Twin Towers. This was known as the last column. It was the last column that they cut down and removed during the clearance of the debris. This was a valve that actually brought water from the Hudson River. into the building for refrigeration purposes and cooling. You see how enormous that is. I could probably stand in the middle of that. Here's a little diagram of what the exoskeleton looked like outside of the box columns. Overall, the National September 11 Memorial Museum was an amazing and touching place to visit. It's truly a sacred place where I was able to reflect and maybe even heal just a little bit. We all remember where we were and what we were doing that fateful day. May this museum stand the test of time so that all who visit can heal and never forget. And that is the 9/11 Memorial Museum. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
That's going to do it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I really enjoyed making it. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up down below, share this video, tell your friends. If you're new to my channel, check out some of my other videos. If you like them, please consider subscribing. Make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified of any future vlogs I put up. Till next time, signing off from New York City, New York. Bye-bye.